Y no te preocupes porque cuando llegamos ahí en la clase, yo voy a explicar todo en español, okay? Those that don't speak Spanish, we'll have most of the information that you need here. If you see people that are speaking Spanish that are coming in, just reassure them that I'll re-explain all of this when we go back to our classrooms in Spanish, okay? So they won't miss anything. So, I'm Miss Casey, dual English kindergarten teacher.
I'm Miss Price, monolingual kinder teacher.
I'm Mrs. Renee, I'm the monolingual kindergarten teacher. I'm Mrs. Lacani.
And I'm Mrs. Teal. Ready? Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is our schedule. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. It is posted on our Kinder website. Our parents all got a copy of it for Meet the Teacher Night. And it's also posted outside of our classroom doors. So it's available for you to see at any time. It does not change. This is our schedule for the year. If there are any changes, we will make everybody aware of that. Our schedule is like this because we have to meet a certain amount of minutes in each subject area. And dual language is going to be different than what our schedule looks like. That's about it. We have specials first thing in the morning on every day of the week with PE twice a week and either art or music twice a week. And then on Fridays, that's usually a split day where we split either art or music and PE. Lunch is staggered. My lunch is 11:02. And every teacher's lunchtime is listed. And I think that's about it. We eat snack, that's not on our schedule, but we do eat snack right after they come back from specials. Does anybody have any questions about our schedule? Landry, do you have a question?
All right, so next is homework. So the main thing, we're not going to have assigned worksheets or anything like that. The main thing is that you're reading with your child. And then you can ask them what they've learned at school to just have that conversation. If you want to practice counting, spotting familiar words or sight words, and you can also practice writing at home. Those are all optional. If your child doesn't yet know all their letter sounds, I would definitely recommend practicing those at home while you're reading as well. And then occasionally there will be homework if they didn't finish something during the day. We might have something for you. And for dual language, it's different, as it says on the slide. So yes, they have a different program and they have optional homework on a weekly basis. And Ms. Casey will tell you more in the classroom.
All right. So when you are reading with your student at home, which is super, super important, we ask that you do it every single night. We want them to read their favorite book. We want them to have a love of reading. So have them pick out their favorite book, favorite poem, have them read it to you. We teach them in kindergarten that there's more than just one way to read a book. A lot of them are hesitant because they say they can't read the words, and we teach them that they can also read the pictures and they can retell the story. So if you've read the story to them before, just have them go through the book and tell you what happened in the story. After we do our first round of district testing and find out their reading level, they will be getting personalized book bags that they will take home that are books on their level that they should be able to read by themselves and read to you. It is important that they read with you though, so that you can make sure that they are reading the words correctly. Oh, and those are property of Purple Sage, so please take good care of them and bring them back to school because we don't have a lot of them. And then making predictions, asking them questions while they read. What do you think is going to happen next? How did you feel about that story? Making connections. All of those things are great things to do with your kiddo when you're reading with them.
Okie dokie, great. So some of you that have older students will already know that how our grading system works. And it's K1, 2. We all work on just a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so these are not number grades, nor are they based on number grades, even though there are numbers. It basically just represents the amount of support or help that your child needed in order to be successful to complete whatever it is that we've given them. So 4 usually means like if we've given them an objective that is count to 1 to 5 and your child is counting 1 to 100 easily, and that is something that is a first grade concept, then we're going to give them a 4 because they are performing above grade level. If they are performing at grade level, they'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've mastered the concept. It's not a big deal. It's on grade level. If it's 2, that means that maybe we had to give them some sort of visual support, or maybe we had to give them some sort of like vocal probe so that we could say, hey, you know, what comes after 3? Maybe give them just a little bit of assistance to keep them doing what they need to do. When you go down to 1 is kind of just like the conglomerate of everything else. So 1 either means that they need really need a whole lot of assistance for us, or it can mean that they could not do it at all. Okay, 9 times out of 10, that can range from a child that can't form a letter to a child that maybe wrote a word, but it was just a string of letters and didn't make any sense. So the 1 basically means that they're not doing it independently at all without our assistance, okay? So I just don't want you guys to be concerned. You won't see a whole lot of 4s. You might see a couple at the very beginning of the school year because we're just giving them like little quick checks to see where they are on their academic levels. But most of the time that 3 won't come until the very end of the year because we're on a continuum. So I don't know if you're familiar, I don't want to be long-winded, but familiar with our Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, which is what we have to use to teach your children, and what the state gives us mandates that we should be teaching your children. We don't have something that like at the end of each little unit, they must have mastered that. Our TEKS are more comprehensive, meaning that they're based on what they can do if they are at the end of the school year. So if you see 1s and 2s, that does not mean that your child necessarily is not doing well in our program. It just might mean that they have not yet mastered that skill yet. Okay, and it could be that on the next report card we've worked with them and that turns into a 2, and then it maybe turns into a 3. And ideally what you want to see is 3s at the end of the school year. Don't be worried if you don't see them at the beginning because this is kind of a growing thing for us, okay?
Okay, what math looks like at Purple Sage. We do a lot of hands-on manipulatives in the classroom. We do problem of the day, problem solving. We use math notebooks, so you won't get worksheets. We use math notebooks. And we emphasize a deep understanding of number concepts and an ability to solve problems in multiple ways.
Okay. I get all the hard stuff. I don't know. Okay, so attendance. Gone are the days of 8 tardies equals an absence. I hate to tell you that because I really want your kid on here on time, okay? We have a really crazy strict schedule in kindergarten, and we are down to minute by minute by minute. We have our specials at the very beginning of the day, meaning your kids come in, they barely have enough time to tell us what they want for lunch, put away their backpacks, get settled. We may have 5 minutes to just discuss good things that may have happened before, and boom, they're art, music, or PE. So if they're late, 1, they're not going to be in our classroom. So when they get here, we're going to have to figure out where they are on our campus, okay? And that's like 5 minutes late, guys, because we start at 7:50, like boom. So it's really hard. If you're going to be late, please just maybe text your teacher. I'm sure everybody else is, we're all good about just like, give me a text, that way we can let you know, so that if you come up to the front office and you're like, hey, you had a doctor's appointment or something like that, you can figure out where your child is at that time. Other than that, we do have truancy laws that we have to abide by, and it's only after 10, I think, absences that you get in big trouble with the law. Okay, so and it's automated too, so we are not the people that decide whether or not your child is absent or tardy. That has nothing to do with us. So if you come in that office and you get a tardy slip, they have already marked your child tardy. It has nothing. We don't get to go mark your child tardy. Does that make sense? So we're out of that ballgame. And then also, the good news is that everything is online now. So if you're late, you can't find that note, you had a personal illness, the child had a personal illness, you had a death in the family, anything like that, just send this sweet little email to Mirna Reyes, okay? She's our front office lady that's in charge of attendance, and she's super great about it. If you have a note, 9 times out of 10 it will be excused, okay? It doesn't have to necessarily be from the doctor. You need to make an explanation as to why your child was not here. If it went to court and you did not have any explanation why your child missed 19 days of school, then you're gonna be in problems, okay? But other than that, we just want you here because we want everybody learning. Okay.
All right, the fun part. Field trips, birthdays, and classroom parties. So we're gonna have 2 field trips. The first one is to the 10th grade in the fall, and in spring we're gonna have Sweetberry Farms. And we just ask that you please turn in your permission slips and your money promptly. For birthdays, you can have a treat at the end of the day, and we just ask that you be conscious of any food allergies. And lastly, classroom parties, we have 3: winter, Valentine's Day, and end of year. Oh, it's the last hour of school.
All right, and then for communication, you've hopefully been getting the weekly newsletters that we all send out, which has curriculum information and just different event updates coming up and helpful reminders. And then we're also using Seesaw this year to post classwork and pictures, and also if you need to get a hold of us, that's a good way to kind of direct message us. We pretty much all have it on our phone, so that's a good way to get in touch with us quickly. And then another good resource is the kindergarten website, which has the old newsletters, all of our wish lists, Scholastic codes for ordering books, so that we get those points from Scholastic to help order books for our classroom. And I think that's about it on the website.
All right, so we have 3 different types of drills at school: fire, severe weather, and lockdown. And we actually just did our first practice on Wednesday. They're meant to keep us safe, and that's what we tell our kids. They're not meant to be scary. And then just please have conversations with your child at home about why we have them. We have them at school, but there are a lot of questions that the kids ask, and so we ask that you talk to your kiddo about what you think is appropriate to tell them about the drill. Lunch, if you could just check the menu online before school if your child is buying lunch, so that they kind of already in their heads know what they're gonna pick. Like Miss Casey said at the beginning of the day, it's super chaotic because we have to get lunch counts in quickly and then they go straight to special. So if a kiddo comes in and you can just say, I want chicken nuggets today, boom, that's way easier than all of us having to say everything that they want. Sometimes they don't know what it is. Sometimes they change their mind. Sometimes they don't like any of it, and then you just have to pick one. So if you can just tell your kid, hey, this is what's for lunch, what do you want? Or just tell them what they're getting, that would really help us out. And we can't change them after 8 a.m. So again, with the tardies, if your child is tardy and they're buying lunch, then we usually just pick choice 1 for them. Or that is what we do. That's just what we do. So if your kid's picky and they're coming late, it's kind of too bad, so sad, because we can't change it and the kids are already gone when we put in the lunch order. So if you could just really get your kid in on time and have them already know what they want for lunch, that would be super duper helpful. All right, so that is all our group has for you. At 6:30, we will meet in our individual classrooms doing our classroom presentation. We can start now. So just give us like 2 minutes maybe. Don't like rush to the classrooms, we have to prepare a little bit. So maybe like 6:20, is that good at 6:17? Okay, 6:20, see you there.